How can you do that to your daughter?
A beautiful young girl found dead. Her body allegedly left in a burned out, vacant home. The person who killed her and left her to be found by others, police say, her own father. And when police found him...
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Kill me.
Newly released body cam shows that father, an accused murderer, allegedly pulling a gun on police who are forced to open fire. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. The story we're talking about today has rocked the community of Toledo, Ohio to its core, not just for the loss of life, but for the questions that are being asked about what could have been done to stop this from happening. This is the girl who lost her life, 13-year-old Kimani Lateef. Police say she went missing on March 18th. 6 days later, on March 24th, this elementary school student was found dead inside a home in Toledo, Ohio. It was a burned out, vacant house. The coroner in Toledo released this statement saying an autopsy showed that Kimani was found with multiple incision wounds to the neck. That means something that was sharp, like a knife, was used to kill her. A day prior to Kimani's body being found, authorities put out an arrest warrant for her father. Here's his picture. His name is Darnell Jones. He also goes by Darnell Ogletree, according to court records. And there are plenty of court records related to this man. He has a lengthy criminal history. He's been accused of arson, assault, also illegally carrying a firearm. We'll talk a little bit more about his criminal record.
I can't stand a bitch ass nigga like him, bro. You know what? When the cop pulled up on him, when he said "kill me," bro, I don't know why the cop didn't shoot bullets at his ass. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, no, I want you to have a slow death. I want him to rot in jail. I want him to just no jail cell. I want him to be in that light room. You know what I'm talking about? That light room. And that's all you see is a light room. I hope and pray. I hope and pray. He just running thoughts. There's nothing he can do. I'm telling you, you're gonna go crazy when you're just in a white room. The white light don't turn off, so you can go to sleep. That shit bright as fuck for you to. It's hard for you to go to sleep. I hope you don't get no sleep. I'm dead ass, bro. Like, your own daughter, bruh. Like, your own kid. Like, your kid. In this world, bro, the world is so harsh and so cruel. Man, just as a kid, the only people they can really go to and just vent and talk to, knowing that's a safe space at their home, siblings and their family and their mom and dads. That shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy. Just like ask. Man, shit. I wish someone. Nah, I ain't that wish. That's crazy. That's not no wish. It just. I hope and pray that doesn't happen to my kids, bro. God forbid. God forbid. But I'm telling you, some dumb motherfucker try me, bro. I promise you, I'm not no tough nigga. I'm not no tough dude. But I promise you, I'll go to jail. I wish all my freedom make sure that boy is suffering, bro. I'm not joking. Dead ass, bro. I can't. Nah, that's something I just can't. I can't.
In just a moment, but let's get to this newly released body cam video of what went down when he was put under arrest. This video is from Columbus, Ohio police.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
Watch that there. At that moment, you can see Jones make a sudden movement and the officer fires multiple times. Now, I can't show you the moment that officers actually opened fire because of rules on YouTube. You also might have heard what sounds like Jones saying, quote, "just kill me," as the officer pulls his weapon to confront him on the street. Let's pick up this video as officers search Jones, who is on the ground, wounded, but still alive.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Dennis in a second. Get medic, go.
Don't move.
Don't shoot him. Don't execute him.
All right, suspect down. All you guys are okay.
Don't move. He's got 33 right there.
33 in his hands.
No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there's 33s right here. Don't you move or you're gonna get shot, okay?
You know what I would have done? I said, hey man, breathe in and out, so the adrenaline can, you know, get out his system and he actually can feel the pain. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, if I was a cop and I hear some crazy shit, this similar situation, the adrenaline's pumping. I'm gonna tell him, hey, just breathe, man, bro. Just breathe in and out. Stay calm. Once you stay calm, when the adrenaline rush off, when it's out of your system, bro, I don't want him to feel all that pain. That bullet. Oh man, I want him to feel that hot bullet in his fucking system. I don't wish death on anyone. Not even on my enemies. But when you're doing stuff like that to the point you kill, like you just off your daughter, and you just SA'd her too on top of it, boy, I hope they do you dirty in jail. That's all I gotta say.
Okay? All right?
That's facts. Facts.
Got it. Yep.
That's him.
Somebody get out.
Somebody get on the main air. Get us a medic. I'm working on it.
Now, if you look closely at the video, you can see the gun that
That
Jones
big ass
allegedly
gun.
pulled on police. At the time of this recording, Jones is still in the hospital recovering in Columbus. He faces a charge of felonious assault on a police officer on top of the murder charge that he's facing in Toledo for allegedly killing his own daughter. The head of the police union in Columbus spoke to the media after Jones was arrested. He said that there was a bolo put out for Jones and officers knew who to look for. He also said this, according to WTOL TV.
This case is one of the most horrific cases I ever heard. This is a 14-year-old that was murdered, raped, had her hands cut off, and her throat almost cut off. This is an absolute animal that came into our town.
That is a chilling, disturbing, heartbreaking description of the type of case that authorities are dealing with. We looked into Jones' criminal history. It is lengthy, it is violent, and here's what it shows. In 2011, he was arrested for arson for allegedly lighting a commercial building on fire. Then, in 2015, he was arrested for carrying a gun after being convicted of the 2011 felony arson. A witness said in that case, he had fired the gun outside a home in Toledo. Then in 2017, we found that he was arrested for felony assault, where police say Jones smashed an alternator into the face of a man and sent him to the hospital where he had to receive 20 stitches. Then in 2022, he was arrested again for carrying a weapon while having been a convicted felon. And the most disturbing charges, of course, now are the ones that he is facing for allegedly killing his own 13-year-old daughter. Court documents show he is charged with murder as well as assault and abduction. The court records say that Jones removed his daughter without consent of her guardian, reportedly her grandmother, from her home. The document also says that when police spoke with Jones, he gave inconsistent statements about where he went with his daughter. This is certainly a story that sticks with you because the details are so heartbreaking, and that is certainly the case when you see how the community in Toledo, Ohio have responded to what happened. According to WTOL, Kimani was in the 7th grade at an elementary school in North Toledo. She was on the honor roll. She loved to play basketball with her friends. A district spokesperson said that Kimani was set to receive a kindness award before she was killed. And there are certainly major questions about the red flags that were potentially missed. Lucas County Children's Services in Toledo is planning to review how it handled all interactions with Kimani Lateeg and asked the state for a review. The head of the organization told WTVG that they feel they were thorough in her case. They say that Kimani was in the custody of her grandmother, who did admit to using physical discipline, but they said there was no evidence that meant that Kimani should have been taken from the home. They also say the teen told them that she felt safe in the home. Hey, I want to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Experian, for sponsoring credit to be with us. This is a really tough case, just in terms of a young girl who lost her life. And then it seems somewhat complicated because you have multiple jurisdictions now after this SWAT-involved shooting in Columbus. How do the courts handle this going forward, knowing he's going to face serious charges in Columbus, Ohio, but then the more serious charges allegedly killing his daughter in Toledo, Ohio?
Well, thank you for having me today. Glad to be here. Although I hate the fact that we're talking about such a horrific case. The facts and circumstances of this young girl's tragic death are almost unspeakable. As that chief said, this is one of the worst cases he's ever seen. The question of what jurisdiction handles the case first or what order is usually decided as between the jurisdictions who have the cases. A lot of times we see cases that are related, but they have handles in different courts. For example, if a federal court brings charges, a federal prosecutor brings charges against an individual for certain crimes, but there are also lateral or related state charges, they'll come up with an agreement as between the two of them which of those charges will actually be prosecuted or the order in which they'll be prosecuted. Here, this is different because there are two state courts involved, and although the incident is related, the charges are not. There is no need to prove or disprove the facts of one in order to establish the elements of the other. So they're really unrelated. So there's any number of ways that the courts could decide which of these cases is heard first. There is no statute of limitation for murder, which is what this individual is facing in Toledo. So arguably, Toledo could say, hey, look, we can pause our case indefinitely while you handle the case in Columbus because there is a statute of limitations to proceed on. They could do that by agreement. Or Columbus could say, well, your charges are much more serious and we like the evidence that you have to move forward. We will yield and allow you to prosecute.
I just don't understand it, bro. Like, what you get out of it? What's the motive? Like, what makes you do like what does that make you like? That boost up your confidence? Like, what does it do for you? I will never get to that element. I know I'm not never will get to that element. Cause it's just like, I just can't imagine, like, you wait for 9 months, boom, you have a kid, right? Right? Have a daughter, a baby girl, right? I just can't believe you hold this newborn, this is your daughter, and she only got to experience 13 years of her life. You hold her in her hands not knowing that you are the murderer of your own daughter, and you SH your own daughter, and your daughter's in your hands, thinking she's secured, she thinks she's comfortable, she's fine, she don't have to worry about anything. She thinks that you're the protector, like anything that goes on around, around school or bullies, or she just feel like she's unsafe. She can just talk to you. You can just put her arms around her and make sure she'll feel safe. Not knowing that she might not be she'll be unsafe with you, and you are a father. That is crazy. Just thinking like that. All the smiles and laughters and shit. You thought this person you can trust, and it's your own blood, and it's your father. And just
him, and then if and when he's convicted, we'll decide how we want to proceed with our charges that are, quote, less serious, although they're extremely serious. But the allegation is he had a gun and was in a shootout somehow with SWAT in Columbus. The other thing that could happen is the courts could decide. I mean, the prosecutors, we're talking about the right of the prosecutors to kind of communicate with each other and decide how they're going to proceed. But the courts also could have a say-so. So each judge can say, this is my schedule. My schedule says that we're going to have a pretrial conference in 6 months, and a trial will be conducted in 11 months.
Take it.
Point it at my chest.
You got the highest IQ in the CIA.
Months. The other case, or the other court could say, we're having a pretrial in 5 months, and our trial is going to be had in 9 months. And that then would dictate the order of proceeding because, if the courts say this is when we're going to have these hearings, then the lawyers and the defendant and the witnesses need to be ready in that court when the court speaks.
Because you look at this case and murder cases already, I mean, timeline-wise, in many cases you're talking months, if not longer, to go from arrest to conviction. Now you add on this case in Columbus related to allegedly pulling a gun. We've seen some body cam video, allegedly pulls a gun on an officer who then fires back, shooting and wounding Darnell Jones. In terms of the timeline of when he could be done facing charges, what does that look like, knowing that there are two separate cases that couldn't run at the same time?
Well, cases can certainly run at the same time. There can be parallel charges that are prosecuted and that are handled by cases. Of course, the difficulty is here. We're talking about jurisdictions that are 100, 200 miles apart. So there's a question of extradition, which means transporting a defendant from one county or from one place to the other. And because of the expense, because of the safety concerns, because of the mechanics of doing that, it would be more efficient if the cases are heard and completed before the person is transferred to the other jurisdiction for the case to be resolved. Um, in Ohio, we have certain timelines that judges are supposed to operate for cases to be resolved. Those timelines move, and they're also flexible, considering the seriousness of the charges. With misdemeanors, cases that a person is facing either 6 months or a year, depending on certain misdemeanor charges, the Supreme Court generally requires that those cases be resolved within a year.
I'm tired of looking at this bitch ass thing. I mean, y'all get the juice. Y'all get the point. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. I just can't. I just don't like seeing stuff like this, and then you see that, and then they smile, and it's the pictures. Oh, it just triggers me. That's all.